back. We haven't done this live sessions in a while. We're gonna have a good time. Let me just make sure that the audio is working perfectly fine. Okay, yes, we look good. Just want to make sure that everything looks good. All right, awesome. So yeah, in this episode of my Empire Pro Live, we're starting a new series called my Empire Pro Live. We used to do this a long time ago, but um, we just finished our 10th year in operation. So we decided to bring it back to shed some more light on the brand, my Empire Pro. Um, with that, we're going to be bringing some brand new topics, not brand new topics, but basically updates of um, some of the most popular topics on this platform. So please go ahead and hit the like, share, subscribe if you're brand new here. We have to do all of those nice things. We want to make sure that we're doing those things. We're going to talk about how to win big with wholesale real estate in 2022. We're going to break it down on this live sessions. We're going to try to it's a training, okay, but also we're going to have some fun, okay, because obviously life is boring by itself, so we don't want to add on to that. But I'm going to make sure I bring a lot of value to these sessions, okay. So let's get started. All right, so let's get started. So welcome back. Since the last time, what has happened in the past few, a little bit while back? A lot has happened. Okay, a lot has happened. We'll continue to make things better. We'll continue to work on bringing more value into this platform. We'll continue. Let me just turn this up. We'll continue to make sure that we're staying up to date with the business of real estate, with business in general, with finance and things like that. But also with content marketing. Okay, that's something that we're going to be bringing a lot to you. Real estate wholesaling is changing. Things are changing, or wholesale real estate, as you might like to call it. Things are changing, not just because the business changes. This business doesn't change at its core itself, but more so the business evolves, just like humans evolve. So how humans respond to any type of business, as an audience, as a producers, as consumers, changes because humans change, humans evolve in their behavior. So it only makes sense that we have to make sure that we're updating things. Okay. Um, at one point over the last 3 months, we were releasing brand new videos every single month. Brand new videos every single month. We were releasing brand new videos. So I'm actually going to go ahead and review some of those because I feel like maybe you've missed out on some of them. Um, and it's very important that you go back and review some of those just in case you missed out on them. Okay, if you missed out on some of the very important videos, a lot of them are Q&As, a lot of them are specific topics, a lot of them are full-blown content, comprehensive content. So we'll continue to bring that to you. Let me just go ahead and share my screen here so we can make sure. All right, so but today what you can expect that we're going to go through again, we're gonna do property of the day. We're gonna talk about some of the things that are in the news. We're also gonna do 5 stages overview, just to make sure that we are refreshed about the business. Again, the core concept of the business never really changes. It's how you go about interacting with the audience, the consumers of the services that we bring to the table, which in wholesaling is twofold. So we're talking about motivated sellers, but we're also talking about buyers, cash buyers, investors, right? Those are the two categories of people that we serve. That's how you make 10, 15, $20,000 a piece. Okay. Being able to do this using systems is going to be key. All right. So with that being said, let me just go ahead and share my screen I think it's very important that I share my screen at this point. Let me see. Let's see. Boom. There you go. All right, great. All right, good. So let me share my screen. Let's go to youtube.com. No, well, we're gonna go to myempirepro.com just in case you're brand new here. This is some of the resources that we have available for you. Myempirepro.com/blog is where you can go. We just updated this particular piece of content here. It's basically about real estate comps. If you're not familiar with what real estate comps are, real estate comps are, it's a short for comparable, right? So when you're trying to value a piece of property, the most popular, there are about three different ways: income approach, there's I think it's called replacement approach, but there's also something called market analysis. There's different phrases for them, but that's what real estate comparables are. So in the industry we call them comp for short. Okay, we call them comp for short. You're going to see me use examples here in a second when we get into the property of the day segment. All right, so we just did that. There's also a piece of article here on real estate versus stocks and pre-foreclosure listing, what you must know. All right, so if you go to youtube.com, well, I already opened it here, and we go, well, we already have the channel open here. All right, so we're live right now, of course. If you go here, we'll go on the videos. You can see some of the most recent videos that we have here. You need this to wholesale bank-owned properties. The only effective disclosure in wholesaling. This is a very important topic, actually. It's just so funny that some of the most important topic are the ones that has the lowest views, but it's okay. If you're watching me right now, at least I'm getting your attention on it, right? So we got tons of videos that were released over the past few months. Just wanted to know that they are here. You can always go back and watch them. Now if I go back to the homepage here, there is a free course. There are two free courses on here, just in case you're brand new here and you're trying to get your feet wet in the game. We have a free wholesale real estate course here. It's very concise, to the point, can get you going. You can start making $10,000-$20,000 per deal just for following this. But again, we'll continue the training. But the sound up training here called the free wholesaling 101 course. These are long forms, and this includes specific stories that you can learn from that gives you more context into the business. We also have another course here on Facebook ads for real estate investors, all available there for free, so feel free to take advantage of it. All right, so that's basically what we've done in recent times. Just wanted to bring you up to speed, just in case you're wondering where have we been. That's what we've been working on. Okay, so right about now, what I want to do is I want to go into a segment called the property of the day. And what I will be doing in this segment is basically going to specific cities around the nation, and I would try to pick cities where we're hot in any moment in time. What we engage in is called virtual wholesaling, okay, which means real estate wholesaling anywhere in the United States, from anywhere in the world. Okay, so you could do this from anywhere in the world, but we focus on United States real estate only. And there's some exceptions, like for example, we try to avoid when it comes to marketing efforts and marketing resources, we avoid markets like New York, California, and some other states where regulations are kind of unreasonable, right? Because again, there are 50 states and we don't have to go into these places, but we do deals anywhere in terms of some deals that just fall on our lap. But in terms of where we direct our marketing resources, money, dollars, energy, we focus on majority of the states except New York State, California. I think we also avoid Oklahoma, Ohio, Illinois, So that's about 5 different states that we tend to avoid. But anyway, let's keep going here. So we're going to talk about the property of the day. I wanna share my screen right about now. Let's go ahead and share my screen. Let's see, stop screen share. Okay, great. So there's a tool that we use. This tool, you can try it out for free. So I would definitely recommend that you go try it out for free. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Where is it? There you go. It's called PropStream, okay? And you can try it out for free by just going to empirebigdata.com, and that will give you access to a free trial, so you don't have to pay money before you try it out. All right, and this tool is the one tool you can't do without, because it's actually a one-stop shop for everything. I do have 2 free books and a free masterclass where we go into more in-depth details, step by step, on how the business works. You can see the link at the bottom and at the top of the screen. All right, so now with that being said, let's go ahead. What I want to do is I want to go, let me see what city. I gotta go check my documents and see what city we're hot right now, and then we'll take it from there. Let's see. All right, so hopefully audio, everything is working fine. As a matter of fact, let me check. All right, yeah, it looks fine. So hopefully, yeah. All right, so let's go to our platform. Let's see what cities where we're hot right now, and then yep. All right, so all right, looks like we are hot right now in a place called Springfield, Missouri. All right, so let's go to Springfield, Missouri. Springfield, Missouri. Springfield, Missouri. All right, it's already coming up. This one right here. So when you're using the software, you want to click on the auto suggested. So for example, let me show you. So as I started to type, right, you will see auto suggestion already popping up. You can see that there is Springfield in Illinois. There is Springfield in Ohio. Right. If I type a little bit more. All right, there's Springfield in Massachusetts, in Virginia. There's Springfield in like 5 different states, but we're looking at Missouri, which is MO, right? All right, so you can see here that we have presently on the market right now. That's called the MLS Multiple Listing Systems. This is basically where real estate agents they have exclusive membership to list and log in and look at properties that are on the market. So in Springfield, Missouri, there's 1704, right? And I also like to look at the population of the city. So Springfield, Missouri population. There's about 167,000 people there as of 2019. So I don't know. That doesn't sound like too much of a big place, but nonetheless, people live there, and people are buying, and people are migrating in and out of that place. So anyway, there's 1,700. There's 22 pre-foreclosures there. Okay, and there is 97 flipper agents. What that means is agents that listed houses for cash buyers. Okay, that listed houses for a person that flipped within the same 1 year. They bought a property and they flipped it within the same 1 year. That's what flipper agents mean. Okay, and if there's, well, it's not precisely a unique number of agents, but number of properties. Okay, so we know that there are 8,783 cash buyers on record in that location. So again, remember, we serve 2 types of people, right? We serve motivated sellers, basically distressed homeowners, people that have a reason to sell a piece of property, very cheap. So we're talking about wholesale, right? So let's do a quick recap of what wholesale is. Wholesale is basically the art and the science of finding deeply discounted properties, okay, The reason why we're looking for those is because obviously when you buy low, you can sell high almost immediately instead of waiting around for 30 years before you can sell for a profit. Well, I exaggerated, maybe 5 years, right? So there you have it. All right. So now, with that being said, that's wholesaling right there. We're able to flip the property very quickly. Not particularly the property, but the contract. We'll lock the property up under contract for a set price. So let's say, for example, a property is worth $100,000 after repair value, fair market value in today's market after repair. Then we're able to buy the property for $35,000. Or lock it under contract for $35,000. That piece of paper, the contract that gives me the right to purchase that property within a period of time, that contract, I'm able to sell the right to purchase that property to another person. And that's wholesaling in real estate. Okay. So we're always looking for distressed sellers because these are the people that it makes sense to them to sell cheaply. It's like a pawn shop, right? They need money. They need to get out. Their overall financial says they need to get rid of the property. Even though the property could be an asset for another person, it's a liability for them, right? And then the other type of person we're looking for is a person to buy the right to purchase that property from us, because we're just trying to make money as a middleman quickly without being an agent, without taking on the responsibility of fixing the property. So again, let's say, for example, I'm able to pick up the property for $35,000. Now I can easily charge what we call an assignment fee. That's the assigning of the contract, the right to purchase the property, assigning that to another person. And I can charge an assignment fee of $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. The highest I've charged for a deal is $82,000. All cash. I didn't have to fix the property. I never held the property for no more than 5 minutes because of the way the deal was structured. But in reality, I never owned the property. And I walked away with $82,000. So, because I found a buyer who was willing to buy the property and fix it, and those are what we call cash buyers. So we know that in this market, there are 8,700 plus, damn near 8,800 cash buyers that's been recorded, meaning there's no mortgage recorded with the sales of the property. Okay. We also know that there are 66,000 property with high equity. I think high equity means over 50%, I'm not sure, of equity in the property, meaning they're not owing to the bank more than a certain amount of what the property is worth. So for example, a high equity, I'll look at an example. For example, I'm going to click into this high equity and we're going to look at this. So you can see all of this property has a loan balance of 0, even though the property is worth $111,000. So when you look at the fact that they owe $0 in mortgage loan on this property, when you subtract that loan balance from the value of the property, you have what we call the equity. So anything that has a very low loan balance is considered high equity. So for example, this is an example right here. This is considered high equity, even though they have a loan balance of a little bit more than 50%, right? So the property is worth, the property is worth $179, but they owe $62,000 on it. So the difference between the two is what the equity is. Is that making sense? All right, so those are high equity right there. That means you can easily come in, purchase this property. The reason why we want high equity is because in case this person has gotten in trouble where they can't afford to own the property, they can turn around. Instead of lifting the house on the market and potentially getting $179,000 for the property, they can say, hey, hola, I'll give you the property for $80,000. I need $10,000. I don't need the property. I have other homes. I live too far away. I inherited the property. I don't need this property. Just give me $20,000 and I'll walk away. So that's 20 plus 62 that we have to pay back to the bank. And that will be about $85,000, right? So if I purchase the property for $85,000, or let me say I lock the property under contract for $85,000, right? If I do that, I can still turn around, right, and sell the property for potentially a little bit more, maybe $20,000. So let's say I sell it for $105,000. The property is still worth 180. Let's say they fixed it with $20,000. A couple of mild repairs here and there. The cash buyer can still will purchase it for 85 plus $20,000. That's 105. They can still potentially make $50,000 off the property. I made $20,000 just for finding the property. Okay, so this is the high equity list. It can be a very profitable list. Okay, another one here. See another one here. They owe $55,000 on the property. That's worth 133. There's $77,000 left in the property. So I think it's about 50%. It's about 50%. Anything that has 50% or lower in loan balance against the value of the property will be considered high equity. But you can see we have a bunch of zero balance, meaning they own this property, they own them free and clear. They don't owe any money against these properties. Another list that we have found very profitable over our time in this business is vacant list, for obvious reasons, right? A property that's vacant, is it's not producing anything. It's not productive for the owner. So that's an additional reason why they need to get rid of a property. Like if a house is just sitting there vacant, chances are they have no need of the property, or they can't afford to hold on to it. Maybe they don't have the time. Maybe they can't really truly see the value. Maybe they inherited the property and they're too far away from the property. Maybe it's a tired landlord, right? That basically the property became vacant, but they lost control, right? And they just want to get rid of the property. So that's another list right there. So I can see that in this market there's a lot of activities going on, and that's a good thing. We have 22 pre-foreclosures, right? So if I click into pre-foreclosure, I can see all the properties in pre-foreclosure. So see, this one says auction. So auction means they already have an auction. Usually it means like from state to state it varies, right? But usually it means they already have a set date when this property is going to be auctioned off for sale. So you can see this one had an auction date of a little bit into the past. That's November. This one is in the future, in about 2 days from now, right? And a lot of this properties do not have pictures. So this is not a big pre-foreclosure city. Obviously it's not a big pre-foreclosure city, right? So those are some of the presets that we have saved there. I'm going to click clear. I'm going to go back and do, but again, this software, it's one-stop shop. You can run a full-blown business using this software. You can do everything from here. You can get the contact information of specific homeowners. You can find their phone numbers. You can give them a call. You can run a postcard campaign. You can do everything. You can run the whole business from here, right? And that's the business is really that simple, and you just wait until you find a deal, right? So the key thing is managing your resources while you continue to do that. All right, so again, I'm going to go here into filter. Okay, on the filter here, you can basically set your own criteria for filter, right? So, and then I can basically see, okay, I know that in Springfield, Missouri, there are 89,000 properties on record, right? And I know majority of those properties, based on this number here, 66,000 is owned with not that much mortgage. So it's not a big. So it sounds to me like this city is probably a hot city where anybody would like to live, right? So if I go here, if I go into have 69 census, blah blah blah. Let's type in crime rate, right? So any city where people can raise kids, anything like that, if you find a deal there, you're gonna make a lot of money. Okay. In St. Louis, the increase was less than national average of 3.8. There were 6,000 violent crimes. All right. Just to get an idea of what's going on there, neighborhood scout is a good place to look to have an idea. So you can only know so much if you're running this business virtually, right? I mean, just look at let's see here, safest. So that's the city right there. All right. So there's not much going on in terms of crime there. Okay. Crime rate is 15 per 1,000. Okay. So if you look at this, right, and you compare it to a city like Newark, New Jersey, let's look at that. You can see that this is a lot more colorful, right? You can see that. It's a lot more colorful, right, than Springfield, Missouri, right? So that's just to give you an idea. You can compare against a city that you know that the crime rate is a little bit higher, right? So you can see this is brown and nasty, right? So anyway, no disrespect to Newark, it's just what it is, right? So let's go. So we go on the filter. I like non-owner occupied. Okay, why? Because when the owner doesn't live there, that's another reason why they may need to sell. So landlords, right? People that own a second property for rental or things like that, right? So if when I selected owner occupied, no, we have non-owner occupied properties 39,000 in that city, right? All right. Now we don't know if they want to sell or not, right? The bottom line is we're gonna market to them. We're gonna make an outreach to them and say, hey, are you open to selling your property? Oh, okay. Are you open to selling the property? If you're looking to sell quickly, we can buy the property. Hey, do you own the property at 1878 North Grant Avenue? Awesome, awesome. Are you open to an offer right now? I'm looking to buy a property in the neighborhood. Yeah, sure. What's your offer? Oh, do you have like 5 minutes so I can get some information? Yeah, sure. And then you follow a specific questionnaire that we have for our students where they can basically ask specific questions, get some information, potentially close a $82,000 deal. Well, that's the highest in my career. It averages around $20,000-$30,000, just so you know, okay? And there's no guarantee. The only guarantee is that you will learn the skill set and you can apply this skill set. And another guarantee is that people will continue to buy and sell properties, right? Excuse me. All right. So people will continue to buy and sell properties. The question is, would you like to get a piece of that? 10, 20, $30,000 at any point in time, right? All right, so let's go back on the filter. Another criteria I like to add on is vacant, right? So when I added vacant, that the number of properties reduced down to 1,651. So I can basically turn around and say, hey, I'm going to send a postcard, or I'm going to get the contact information. You can get that on the left hand side right here of all these people. I think right now they're giving free $25 worth of the contact costs you some pennies. Like it costs you, I don't know, some pennies or a few cents per contact that you generate. So you get the address here, but they basically run what they call a skip trace, and will get you the contact information of the owner of the property, right? So you see that as 1,651. So I could set aside for this city alone a budget that allows me to create a campaign outreach to this 1,600 properties every month, right? So I know that they're vacant. I know that they're non-owner occupied. You know what? I don't have, maybe it's going to cost me 50 cents each to reach out to those people, right? That means it costs me $800 a month. Maybe I can't afford $800 a month. Okay, that's not a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and narrow this list down to a little bit more of an airtight list, right? And this is called stacking. You're stacking the criteria. So I can go here, I can go to all residentials only. Of course, I only want all residential for this particular side of the business. There are people that do this with commercial business, and that's another module entirely. But there's more people who own residential than commercial, right? So when I had it residential, I just narrowed it down to 1,200, right? And when I go back to property criteria and I say, you know what, I want only single and 2 to 4 family. I do not want condo and townhouses. Maybe that's my choices. Maybe what I like is condo and townhouses. I want to buy a bunch of condos and rent them out using Airbnb or something like that. Then you will select that one. But for now, for this example, I'll do single family, multi-family, 2 to 4. And not that much narrow down, right? Let's keep going, right? So I'm going to go under MLS status. MLS again is multiple listing system, right? Multiple listing system. and basically allows us to set a criteria if we want it on the market or not. That's basically a platform where licensed real estate agents have exclusive access to list properties and to, but because of platforms like this one, PropStream, we're able to get access to the same data. So, but MLS, you can set this to no. Why? Because I don't want this property listed on the market where it's been they already attempted to sell it to people. It has like probably too much attention that I need it. I don't want to be in a bidding war with the public, right? So I can say no to this one, right? So when I say no, right? Let's go back here. When I say no, I can do close. Now we narrowed it down a little bit, but not too much, right? Not too much. So I can go down to pre-foreclosure and I can say, you know what? I want this property, even though they have all of this stuff to be true, I want them to be only properties that has notice of default. That means they already served them some kind of papers. When I clicked on that, you notice that everything on the list disappeared. So that's not a criteria I would like to use because there's literally no property on that list that's in pre-foreclosure, which is notice of default, right? But I think earlier we had some auctions, nothing, right? So we're not going to use foreclosure. This is clearly not a big foreclosure city, right? So we're going to avoid that criteria. That's fine. That doesn't mean we can't offer. We know that all these properties are non-owner occupied and vacant. Did I say vacant earlier? I said vacant, right? Occupancy status to vacant, right? So that means nobody is staying in these properties at any point, like right now, right? So let's go to ownership info. Under ownership info, we can set quite a few criteria, right? We can say properties that are sold. We don't want properties that were sold in the last 1 year. We could say something like that, right? So we could go here and set this to 2020, and we could say up to here. And then it narrows it down to 536. So all of these properties still fit the criteria, but they weren't sold in the last 1 year. Why would I do that? Because if they were sold in the last 1 year, chances are they're not up. They're not interested in a sale right now, right? So I can go back to filters, right? So again, now I've narrowed down my list. So I can set aside $250 to run campaign to reach out to these owners and basically use that to extract out the distressed owners, the ones that they're kind of tired of owning the property, right? So I'm going to leave it at that for now. I'm going to come back here and continue to play with this, and you're going to learn a lot from me with using the software. This software is a very powerful software that will make you a lot of money, right? It will make you a lot of money. The least you can do is basically go ahead and give it a try. You can see the link at the bottom, empirebigdata.com. Give it a try and then and see if it's something you want to keep. I don't know how much they charge for it after the 7 days trial, but I think it varies from time to time. So just go check it out since it costs you nothing to do that right now. And then you can also come back here and ask questions, specific questions on how to use it and things like that. I will continue to do little short tutorials here and there on how to use it, if that makes any sense. All right, so now in the news today, let's see what's going on. I like to kind of review some of the stuff that's going on in the news because we're part of the news. We have to pay attention to what's going on in the news. Let me see here. By the way, if you don't follow me at iTalksB, right? You want to make sure you're following me at iTalksB on Twitter as well, but also on Instagram. So you can follow me over there. And let's see here. Not this. All right. Let's see. Yeah, there's some news here that I feel like we should definitely review. Let's see. All right, so we need to cover things like finances. We need to cover things like just finances in general, business finances, mindset. Listen, this business is 90% mindset and 10% skill set. If I want to be nice, I would say maybe 80% mindset, 20% skill set, right? And there's going to be time, right? There's going to be time in this business where let me see 1 second here, where you feel like you don't want to do it, even though you know exactly what to do. You just don't feel it. There are going to be businesses that you start that you fall off, because life happens. And there are, one of my mentors used to say there are three types of people in this world. There are people, let's see here. There are people who life happens to. There are people who make things happen, and there are people, there are people who say what happened, right? So obviously, we want to be the middle one, right? The one that makes things happen, and that's easier said than done because life happens, you know. That's just the fact of the matter. So there's something called the Santa Claus rally. Basically, what it means is that the stock market, takes off and it kind of does a run after Christmas because people are in such good spirits. Something like that. I never really got the full grasp of it. But, so you can see this headline says Santa Claus rally is off to best start in 20 years. All right. So that means the market hasn't done well in about 20 years when it comes to right after Christmas, like on the business day after Christmas. Here's what history says about the stock market's performance when rally starts this well. So first of all, let's take a look at the market. Let's see. Let's go to finance. I think I can see from finance easily. I use think on Swim personally for my stuff, but I just want to be able to see what's going on in the market today. Markets. There you go. All right, so there was a rally today apparently. Let's see, 1 day. All right, 5 days, 1 day. So there was a rally today. Basically, the market started the rally at 9 a.m. You can see that straight offshoot to the top, right? And it kept going, right? So that's what I'm talking about, right? So this was, I think this was the last business day, which was Friday. But let's go back to what I am talking about real quickly. Let's see. All right, so let's see what is. So the so-called Santa Claus rally that tends to materialize in the U.S. stock market in the final week of December. So right after Christmas, which is the final week of December, and any given year, and the first two trading sessions of the new year, okay, is off to its best start since 2000, which is a long time ago. Sometimes that seems like yesterday, but I'm starting to realize that 2000 is a long time ago. That's like 22 years ago now. When the market gained 5.7% over that period, according to Dow Jones market data. All right, so let's see. In fact, in the 8 occasions since 1929, when the index has gained at least 1% to start that 7-session trading period near the end of the year, the Santa Claus rally has produced a gain 100% of the time. Okay, so 100% of the time this has happened, right? 100% since 1929. Yeah, it is what it is. Let me see here. Yeah, so yeah, this has been consistent, obviously. So at last check, S&P 500 1.38% was trading in record territory, up around 1.1, with Monday technically making the start of the seasonal period referred to as Santa Claus rally. So that's a new terminology for you to learn. This is good for all of us, at least in the short term. It puts good spirit. So some of you right now, you probably should be looking for places to put money. If you have money laying around, money that you earned this year, and if it's significant enough, you want to look for opportunities to buy assets. Because if you don't buy assets, you will have to pay taxes next year on that income, right? Especially if it's ordinary income. So definitely, this is a good time to take advantage of some of the things that's going on. Now, clearly, real estate has done some interesting things in the past few months. Some particular markets have gotten some unnecessary, not unnecessary, but some unusual boost. Like people are overpaying for properties and People are engaging in bidding wars and things like that because because of the things that have happened in recent years. So just keep in mind that again over this last week right here, so the Santa Claus rally is a real thing. 100% of the time, it's always been a real thing. So be careful when you're spending money just because you want to get rid of money. Don't just buy just because you want to buy. If you're buying an asset, then that's always a good thing, and you should be buying an asset, right? So let me see here. So something else I wanted to share that I got from Grant Cardone earlier today. I thought it was a really good lesson that I would like to share with you. It's a 20-second clip, as a matter of fact. Let's see. Boom. Yeah, I can pull it up really quickly. Awesome. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Do we have it? Come on. Okay, we got it. We got it. Let's pull that up really quickly. All right, so Grant Cardone is somebody that I follow. I like his style. He doesn't say accurate stuff 100% of the time, but there are also, nuances, things like that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But his mindset on business in general is something I appreciate. So an example is what I'm about to share with you right now. Let's see. Boom. There you go.
5 things you got to do. 1, make a decision. 2, collect assets, not expenses. 3, increase your earnings. The only reason to get more earnings is so you can buy more assets. 4, don't lose money ever. 5, increase your tax write-off. And 6, get around some people.
This was previously today. This was this was earlier today. Okay, let's go through that really quickly again and make sure we grasp this, right?
5 things you got to do. 1, make a decision.
He gave 6,
2,
by the way.
collect assets, not
Collect assets. So there are exceptions in real estate. Obviously, we like to buy low and we like to sell high. We like to buy low and sell high, right? But that's basically as investors, right? But there are times, some exceptions to the rule when you buy, even though you're buying a little bit higher than you would usually buy, but because it's an asset, you still win anyway, right? And there's been a lot of examples like that over the past few years. Some of the updates that we've had in the game has been basically around that concept. For example, back in the days, you could only buy low and sell high. These days, there are ways to get around that. If the property is producing significant enough income, you can still buy high and still make a lot of money and then pay down over time. Basically, you're leveraging the bank's money, you're leveraging other people's money, and you can still buy a little slightly higher than what you would usually. I still always prefer to buy low. So, but again, the key thing is you're buying an asset, something that's producing income, and that's what is number one. It's about
collect assets, not expenses. 3, increase your earnings. The only reason to get more earnings is so you can buy more assets. 4,
increase earnings as against what? I listened to this stream. I will try to see if I can link the stream at the bottom of this video later on. Increase your earnings as against what? As against trying to build your credit. There's nothing wrong with building your credit, but I see a lot of people put too much focus on it. If you build your credit, right? And let's see here. Yeah, if you build credit and you don't build your income, you're going to destroy the credit. It's only a matter of time. So it's kind of pointless. You're building a vicious cycle for no reason. So while there's nothing wrong with building credit, it's a useless effort when you don't build your income or your earnings, especially if you're not doing too well financially. You want to make sure that the priority is earnings, and of course, the credit is for leverage. You will need that too. But I'm just saying, if you had to pick one, I think if you build your earnings, I think your credit kind of follows suit naturally, especially with a little bit of extra effort, right? So not all the way naturally, but you get the gist right there, right?
4, don't lose money ever. 5,
don't lose money ever. I don't know. That's one of the things that I disagree with him on. If you're going to take risk out here, you're going to lose money sometimes, or at least you're going to feel like you lost money. But I get his point. That's a rule that's even Warren Buffett prescribes when it comes to invest in the stock market.
Increase your tax write-off.
All right, that's a big deal. Increase your tax write-off. So again, if you're acquiring assets in this last week, in this during this period right now, that if it's something that's going to generate you income, this part right here, I always tell people you might want to redefine what asset means to you. A lot of people think asset is like this solid thing that doesn't move. Actually, it's a moving thing, right? What we call asset simply means it's producing income for you. It doesn't matter if it's a car. It doesn't matter if it's this bottle of water. It doesn't matter if it's some decorations in your store. As long as it's producing income and is designated specifically for that purpose, then that's an asset, and you can obviously make them tax write-offs. But again, make sure you seek the professional advice when it comes to tax write-offs and things like that, right?
And 6,
So
get
he's giving a
around to
bonus.
people that 5.
So he gave a bonus there, which is basically make sure you surround yourself and network with other people that are moving in the same direction. One of the best places you can do that is right here. So make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe, make sure that you're taking advantage of all the bells and whistles below. All right, so that was Grant Cardone there. I thought that was something that I could definitely share that will be valuable to you. Now, as I go through my day, I come across a lot of clips and things like this that I learned from myself, and the chances are you missed it. So I will try to bring them here. This was a full stream. Again, definitely I follow this guy, not because he's saying absolute the truth all the time, because I gain a lot 100% of the time from his insights. There's a lot of fluff in the game in terms of what you should focus on, how you should do this, but he'll tell you straight up that no, that's going to be a waste of time, right? But there's some things that I disagree with him too, and I will bring those here, and some other gurus that I can react to their videos over time, so I have to come back here today. So here are some things that I feel like we should probably cover again. Let's see. All right, so I usually like to do like the 5 stages overview. There's 5 stages to the business of real estate investing. I have other videos that cover that on this platform, so make sure you go ahead and cover those later. All right, but basically today's highlight that I really wanted to cover was basically how to win big with wholesale real estate in 2022. The one thing that I want to make sure that you're very clear about in 2022, right, is this. How we relate with the audience, the 2 types of audience. There's motivated sellers and there's investor cash buyers has changed. Not only has it changed, it will continue to change. It's just what it is. It's just what it is, right? Why? Because humans evolve, people change, how they relate, how they like to receive information, how they like to put out information changes. And if you're not aware of that, that's going to hurt your business, right? So you want to be very aware of that, right? So now with that being, I'll tell you right now, digital marketing is here to stay. Being able to use digital marketing to build this business. When I say digital marketing, I'm just saying anywhere you can create outreach and campaign to people using this piece of device is the key. It's basically the direction that we're moving. So if you're still doing anything old school that requires manual work, aka driving for dollars and things like that, you're probably going to fail in the business. Okay, but the keyword is probably. Could you still win? Listen, any strategy work. The question is, are you going to work long enough till it works, right? Or are you going to get frustrated out of the business? So I'm going to tell you right now, anything involving text messages, even though there are some guidelines and regulations around that as we know it now, but text messages, social media platforms, PPC advertising, SEO, right? Let's go back to SMS, right? Those are things that will work. Cold calling, things like that are manual. So if you're going to hire people to help you with that, sure. Some people may say it's too early, don't hire people yet. I say no, hire people as soon as you can. Because again, the most valuable asset you're going to have in this business is your time, right? So, for example, this video, if I was doing this video and it's only a one time and it won't stay here forever, I probably won't do it. Why? Because I can't afford to. I can't afford to partake or participate in activities that are only good for one time. And it's the same thing for you when it comes to running a business. You want to make sure that leverage is at the top of your list. You're always thinking leverage. And if you're not always thinking leverage, you're going to fail in this game. All right. So with that being said, I want you to watch this clip really quickly, just in case you're brand new here. I want you to watch this clip, and then I think we've had and if you're just landing here, you're watching this later, make sure you watch this full video. There's a lot of things that I share there that's basically pertaining to 2022. The last thing I'm going to tell you, before I say that, just watch this clip. The last thing that's very important for 2022, right? I'm going to tell you right now, but I want you to watch this 20-second clip, and then I'm going to tell you what that is in a second. All right, it's consistency. Okay, consistency. You have to show up every day. Okay, you can't afford not to be consistent. Listen, in the business world, entrepreneurship world, everything has high competition. There's only one thing that doesn't have high competition, and that's when people show up every single day. No matter what tools you're using, no matter what strategy you're using, everyone else they have access to that. Okay, everyone else has access to the tool, the system, your methods, your strategy. The only thing that most people will still struggle with beating you at is consistency, meaning you show up every day. And here's the second layer to that. You have to set yourself up to win with consistency. As a human being, one of the most difficult things for us to do is to be consistent. Well, it's extremely hard to be consistent. It's not easy to be consistent. Why? Because life happens. Things happen. People get in the way. The baby walks in the room. Your husband says something. You're distracted. It's the job. It's been 1 week. It's gone, right? You have to set yourself up to win. And how do you do that? You have to use the tools available to remind you. There are reminders on your phone. There are calendars. You will see me practice the same thing in everything we do here. You will notice that there's no one stretch of time where you don't get a video from me, right? It's in every aspect of our business. So even sometimes when I'm away on a project or I'm going to be on the road for a while, what we do is we pre-record, we record in batches, and then we release it over time, right? So we make sure we're showing up every day because the market is always testing you for consistency. Are you going to be consistent every day? The market is always testing you for consistency. So you don't want to miss it on this one. I got one more thing to share with you before I end the stream today. I want you to make sure that you go ahead and you share, you like, you subscribe, and make sure that will help you be able to see this. Because again, when you subscribe, you're not just always going to see me in your feed. There's many other YouTubers you subscribe to, but if you want to make sure you see it, you want to make sure you at least hit the like button, and you want to make sure you subscribe, and that way you make sure you're notified every time there's a new video or there's a new stream that we have up. So there's one more thing I want to share with you. I want you to go ahead and watch this 20-second clip again, and then we'll take it from there. All right, awesome. Again, technology is taking over, and I will be disingenuous if I tell you that, hey, there's this big old thing that you need to sign up for. No, it's BS. Okay, that will be BS. I'm not gonna deceive you What I'm going to promise you here is that I'm going to bring you resources, okay? The only way you can pay me back is what I already told you earlier. Make sure you engage the buttons, subscribe, like, and share, right? But here's the thing. When it comes to this business, it's actually a very, very simple module, right? It's a very simple business module. It's not that complicated. Let me do something really quickly here. Let's see. It comes down to this 5 stages right here: data, contact, leads, contract, and deals. Okay, that's what it comes down to. And we've shared. 1 second here. Let me just see here. We've shared more than enough on this platform, on this channel. There's a free course when you go to the homepage I showed you earlier that covers these 5 stages in details. But I also have another masterclass. Now, if you want to hire me as your coach, the one thing you're going to get out of that is priceless, which is accountability, a certain level of partnership with me in the business, right? But in terms of the knowledge that you need to win in this game, everything is available for free. We have over 1,200 videos right here on this particular YouTube channel. So you could start binge watching right now. Before you do that for a few hours, you know everything there is to know about this business. It's a very, very simple business model. It's not as complicated as people like to make it out to be. It's really not, okay? So, but I'm just being straight up honest with you. Yes, you can gain some accountability, alignment. That last tip that Grant Cardone was giving was basically to align yourself. It's something you need to do heavily in 2022. Make sure you attend any event available. When I do put out a live stream and I put notifications out here, you never know that one piece of information that can change your life. It could come from anybody. It damn sure can come from this platform. We have over 1,200 videos here already. But again, at any point in time, you want to make sure that you are engaged with this platform. Create the time, put them in your watch player, watch later, and all those kind of things, and take advantage of it. I think you will appreciate. I think you will appreciate it. Okay, so hopefully today I was able to bring some value. I will be back here probably tomorrow morning. Probably tomorrow morning. If I'm not back here tomorrow morning for a live stream session like this, I'll be back on Thursday. But we're definitely bringing the heat in 2022, and I want to make sure that you're well positioned to take advantage of the information. In the meanwhile, if you haven't done so, make sure you go ahead and set up your free trial with the software and practice and practice and practice. Have some questions when you come back here next time so that I can answer them. If I don't have the answers, I will find the answers for you. That's what I'm here for, to help you win big time with real estate investing, real estate wholesaling, and making money just in general, business, entrepreneurship, your mindset, and just winning in life. I have the secrets. There's a difference between I have the secret of I figured it out. There's a lot of layers to it, right? I'm also still on the journey myself, but we can do it absolutely together. So hopefully you've been enlightened and educated, and I will see you on the next one, and peace.